All right. Thanks for stopping by. What do we have here? Starlink has arrived. This is going to change the world. So, this is everything in one box. This is the way it arrives. The dish, the router, all the cabling, it's all packed in one single box. And it's all lightweight stuff, not very heavy. Just open up the box, and up top, you'll have a protective covering. Below it, you'll have the stand. That's what the little dish sits in. And the dish is now a rectangle. It's not a circle anymore. And it has the post attached to the bottom of it. Taking this apart with one hand's not too easy. I think I got ahead of myself there. Okay, so I finally got most of it out of the box. I'll give you some shots here just so you'll see just how small this stuff really is. It's pretty simple. Just the dish, the post, and it sits down in the stand. There's a lot of cable. I think it's about 75 feet that comes out of the dish itself and into the router. Now the router you'll want to keep indoors. Here it is. And you got two plugs on the bottom that you plug your cable in from the power source, and then the other cable goes in from the dish. Let's get it hooked up. Okay, we're getting it set up here. So I've got the dish put out in this little clearing here at the campground. This is about the biggest clearing I've got here at the entire campground. So when you set the dish up and you plug it in, it takes it up to a half hour to connect to a satellite. And the dish starts tilting, up this way, and it spins around and it does what it does. So good thing the cable's long on it, because I am camped all the way over here. So I've stretched the cable out as far as I can get it. And I've got the router set right inside the back door, right there. And then since I'm at a campsite with power, I've got it plugged in over here because you have to have a power source to run it. I was using it over there when I was camped over there, and I had my power station that I was using it. Now when this thing first starts cranking up, it takes 75 watts. So it's going to kill your power station pretty quickly. So I just plugged it in right here in the box. And I've also got my battery from my Zero Breeze charging up too. Let's see how it's doing. A little more charge left to go. And we'll do another video on the Zero Breeze by itself. There's the dish all out there by itself, and it's hooked up and it's working. However, one thing I am seeing is this big cedar tree over here, right there. According to the app, that's obstructing the signal a little bit. So I'm getting really fast download at times. I was getting like 150 meg down a second, which is unbelievable. And at one point I was getting 85 meg up. But as the Earth rotates, I don't know if this thing hooks onto one satellite or if it jumps to another. But you'll look out every now and then, you'll see the dish moving around a little bit. So it just automatically does its thing. You see, there's where the cable plugs in, right under there. And if you push this unlock button on the other side of the post, the dish will start moving. Let's see if we can get that to happen. See, there's a button right there. When you push it, then you lift up on the post and it separates from the stand. But this time the dish didn't move after I did that. Last time it did. So I guess it's locked on to the satellite that it wants, but it turns out that big tree there, the satellite must be right behind it because that's the one it wants. But anyway, the internet's up. I mean, it's working. I've been streaming everything. It's pretty good. It'll buffer every now and then. And then later in the day, it seems to get better. So everything has to do with the rotation of the Earth, I'm assuming. Oh, pardon me while I move my panel around. In the shade, I see. Get it out here in the sun. So I've got these other two little power stations under here plugged up, charging up out of those. All right, back to the Starlink. So all you do is just plug the Starlink plug into power Right now I've got it plugged into my extension cord that's coming off of the power box right there. And you don't want to put this out in the weather. You want to keep your router in undercover so no water will get on it. But see, it looks like a router you'd have in your home for Wi-Fi. These two lights here never seem to do anything, but it's working. And it plugs in right under the bottom there. Put my screen back. Keep the bugs out of the van. But this little device has really improved things, because the first 3 days I was here at the campground, I was dead in the water as far as cell signal or internet goes. I had nothing. So when I found out that it had been delivered, I drove all the way back to Brookings, Oregon to pick it up. Then came back to this campground the next day. And its difference is night and day, having internet and not having internet. It's the greatest thing to be able to sit out here where nobody else around here had any signal, and most of the meetup group is parked right up through that way. So at one point I had 5 or 6 people coming down, and I was inviting them to come down and get on the Starlink and get some internet, catch up on their emails and their videos and all that stuff. So yeah, I was community internet. It was fun. And it didn't slow my devices down a bit, you know, having them piggybacking on my connection. This little guy right here. World changer. I just noticed there's probably going to be dogs barking throughout this entire video. I hope it's not too annoying, but you can't avoid it at a campground. Everybody's got a dog with them, and they just bark, bark, bark. So hopefully that doesn't distract too much from the video. So now that I'm getting the hang of how to set this thing up, I think the next campsite is going to be a quicker connection, because you know you have to download the Starlink app and you have to scan the sky and all that the first time you set it up. But now that that initial setup is done and I know what to do, the next time I should be up and running in about 10 minutes. And this is just the greatest thing ever. And if it wouldn't have been for those gracious and generous people who gifted it to me, I would be, you know, without any internet in many of the places that I plan to go. So this is a big deal, a real big deal. And I'm just so thankful, and I just can't express how happy I am to get this Starlink. It's amazing. All right, so I'm going to get busy on getting the Zero Breeze air conditioner set up, and I'll give you a real thorough demonstration of it. Right now, I'm trying to see if I'm going to be able to store it here in the cargo box. I got it in this bag here. It's very lightweight. I think it's only 11 pounds. The battery for it weighs as much as the unit does. There's the battery for it. But I've already had it out and tested it, make sure it works and all that. And, you know, I'm going to exhaust it right out of here. I've got this piece of foam covering it right now. But I'm going to exhaust the hoses out of here. The hot air exhaust hose I'm going to put out a little longer than the intake hose, so I won't get that exchange issue. So that's how I'm going to hook that up and have it coming out from underneath the license plate right there. So we'll get on that. So I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Be well. Smash the bell.